welcome back. Brand new episode of Kriegs Korner. I'm your host, Adam Krieger, and today it's another little solo session, just me. It's going to be a relatively short show, just a few things I wanted to kind of go over and talk about. I guess I'm just kind of going to get right into it, but so in case you guys haven't noticed, the last 2 weeks I've just been going one show a week, and I kind of mentioned it a little bit before on the episode with producer Alex, but it is now that is what I'm going to be doing, one show a week. I think it's a little bit easier to plan one show a week, the content for one show a week, and it allows me to put more effort into clipping it and trying to grow the show on a different level, kind of just outside our little vendetta bubble. So if you guys were listening twice a week, I super appreciate it. It it's been a humbling experience starting a show. I thought it would be a lot easier than it obviously has been, and just so it's going to one time a week is just going to make things a little bit easier for me. I think a little bit better for you guys, the listeners or the viewers, whatever you guys are consuming the show on. Yeah, I mean, so kind of just like the state of my time at Vendetta is my internship is over. I completed my hours. I have, so my school semester is over, and because my school kind of hooked it up, I only had, I was only really responsible for what happened this semester. But Trey and I have talked, and I think we're doing great things here at Vendetta. So I am going to stick around. I'm not going to be writing nearly as much as I have been this past semester, just because of like straight time constraints. I don't know if you guys know or if I've mentioned this before, but I have a pretty busy summer job. I drive an ice cream truck. If you're from Westchester, shout out Jimmy Soft Serve. Um, so my schedule and work pretty much changes every single day, day in and day out, week after week. I'm really busy on weekends. I'm sometimes around in the mornings, not around in the morning. It kind of all just depends on the day and the parties and what is going on in that world. So it just, as far as the show goes, it's just going to be easier to have it down to one day a week. I can record on different days, but I'm going to find a consistent day to drop on that I think is best for the show. I think it kind of also depends on what days the other shows are dropping at Vendetta. I've been going Tuesday and Friday, and for the last week I've just been dropping on Fridays. So I'm not really too sure what the future of the show is going to be like. I just know that there is a future of the show. Kriegs Korner will continue. It will be still posted on Spotify, same time, every Friday. It'll be on the Vendetta YouTube channel as well. It's exciting. I think I'm kind of getting it's getting a fresh start because I get to put more energy and I have a renewed interest in making the show as great as it can be. And especially because it's just me solo, things are a little bit tougher to come up with twice a week. There's only so much I could say and talk about one topic without having someone else to go off of. So, I mean, listen, if a co-host arises that I think would make be a good fit for the show, I'm 100% open to it and down for it. But for now, when it's just me, I'm still gonna be trying to bring in guests. That's the other thing. Booking guests once a week is a lot easier than booking guests twice a week. So that's kind of just how that is gonna be. Um, yeah, so that's kind of the deal at Vendetta. I will definitely be around. You can still check out my blogs, still check out the show. I'm doing a bunch of different stuff. Yeah. So, all right. I don't know if you want to call that sappy shit or whatever the hell you want to call it, but the clerical shit is done. The housekeeping stuff, I said what I had to say. Now I get to fucking rant about the Mets because, oh my God, what a disaster the first month of this season and even the first week of May has kind of been. Thank God they split the doubleheader last night. So Wednesday night they split with the Cardinals and then took one today. But before that, things looked very bleak for my hometown team. Where do we start? I'm going to start with Luis Rojas. That man, if that home run wasn't called back against Realmuto in Sunday Night Baseball, he would have 100% been fired. He used Diaz. I know it's not really it shouldn't be an issue to have to use your closer to win the game one inning. but wasn't a safe situation. We kind of know how Diaz has been, and there's no reason to put him in a spot. It's really just like a no-win situation for him. So Diaz comes in, gives up the bomb to Realmuto, runs off the field, fakes an injury. Then the they roll the home run was a ground rule double. Familia comes in, gets the out. Game over. Disaster. The Mets avoided a complete disaster, and that would have been a national embarrassment. And their other national embarrassment, their $341 million embarrassment, Francisco Lindor snapped an 0 for 25 streak today. 0 for 25. $341 million. This guy's supposedly a top 10 player in baseball. Now, I know writers at the site, Trey, Milo, there are a few others think he's super overrated, have been saying he's super overrated for a while. I did not buy into that. Milo's big argument is that he doesn't get on base frequently. Well, he's not a leadoff hitter on this team. Brandon Nimmo is. He was never going to be the leadoff hitter on this team. So the on-base percentage doesn't really matter, but you need to be able to hit, and he hasn't hit. But as a result of that, whether they want to say it's that or as a result of something else, they fired Chili Davis and their other hitting coach. And then Pete Alonso decided to cry in his locker room. Yeah, Pete Alonso. I don't know what his deal with Chili Davis was or whatever it was. They had this freaking Diesel Donnie guy some people thought it was weed. Some people thought it was coke because they were wiping their nose. Whatever the hell it was, they hit for like 2 games. And that was it. The magic wore off. And then Chili Davis was fired. And I really just think that I didn't really know too much about Chili Davis before he came to the Mets. First of all-time name. I don't know if you keep realizing. I just keep saying Chili Davis over and over again. Awesome name. But I don't know if he's an awesome hitting coach. Trey and I were talking the other day, and he was telling me how bad he was with the Red Sox, and it's such a weird baseball. Twitter is so fucking weird because then you have like John Heyman like crying into going to bat for him, and MLB GM supposedly laughing at the fact that Steve Cohen's fired Chili Davis, but someone needs to be fired for this team. This team went from being projected like 94 wins to they're under 500 after the first month of the season. That's not good. And that's not really what this team is built to be. And then DeGrom gets scratches. Stroman's all over the map. He's such a tough player to get a read on. I love what he represents and how loud he is and the personality he brings to baseball. I would just, when it comes just on the field, a little bit more consistency. He goes from being literally phenomenal to giving up 4 runs in 3 innings. Like I need something down the middle. And Carlos Carrasco just got put in the 60-day IL today after the game, so he's not coming back for not until at least the end of May. He was supposed to be back at the end of this next weekend, so that's obviously not happening. The Mets are kind of just in like some clusterfuck where they just cannot score runs. And when you have Dom Smith, Pete Alonso, Michael Conforto, Jeff McNeil, I didn't even say Francisco Lindor there. You need to score runs. They just haven't been doing it. Conforto was ice cold to start the season. He's kind of gotten better. The Mets have kind of just like skated by in ways that the Mets normally would have lost. They normally would have walked in the winning runs. They would have had their game tying home run called back in the bottom of the 9th for some, because they hit the pole instead of the seat. It's just like one of those. I was talking this the other day, but I don't know when too early is over. Like, when do I start to get mad about the Mets? And that's a pretty real day, because when that happens, it's my whole mood changes. Like right now, I'm still like in kind of the headspace where I think the Mets can win the World Series because they have the pieces and the names, but they just haven't been performing. And the clock is starting to, it's 162 games. It's a long season, but like we gotta step it into gear. All right. That was my Mets rant. A little bit into the Jets now. I kind of touched on it a little bit last episode when I recorded late night after the draft. The Jets got Zach Wilson and Elijah Tucker. I forget his name from USC. I think the more I thought about it, the more I'm buying into what they're doing. Um, I know they have a bad roster, and trading up and again in the first round is probably not the best like long-term roster move. But I just like that. It's kind of like the same take I had around with like the Mets and Lindor is that it's just like showing that you're doing things differently this time. Like you're showing that there's a new regime, and Douglas has two very very great quality offensive linemen to protect his new quarterback. And if they want to keep he wants to keep his job, and they this organization wants to keep the same pieces in helm, like this team's going to need to win in the next 2 to 3 years. And for Joe Douglas to have a job, he's going to have to. Uh, I think he drafted well. Trey gave him a good grade. Um, I just, it's the Jets, so they're going to fuck it up eternally no matter what. But uh, we'll see what happens with Sam Darnold and how this year plays out. Um, little sneaky. I really, and this is just me getting my hopes up. I thought the Jets were going to trade the number 2 pick to the Packers for Aaron Rodgers, and that would have made my life so happy. But it didn't happen. The Aaron Rodgers thing in Green Bay is just like absolutely insane because, first of all, the stat with the quarterbacks, no Packers quarterback has played 17 seasons with the team. Aaron Rodgers just completed his 16th season with the team. Some Illuminati shit out in Green Bay. But no, bottom line, I mean, this was just a weird year. Like we've seen so many quarterbacks. Like I can't remember a time like this in the NFL where players like truly were making demands. Like Deshaun Watson before whatever happened with him, he was demanding to leave Houston, and people were kind of all about it. And then Russ Wilson was demanding to leave Seattle. That kind of ended up being a little bit less true, but they seem to smooth things out for now. But you know, people were on Russell Wilson's side. And now Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, like the way the Packers have drafted these last few years has been atrocious, and they have not set Rodgers up for success. I think I heard something the other day, like it was 11 or yeah, like 11 or 10 out of their last 11 drafts, they've picked defensive players. And the one year they pick an offensive player, they picked Jordan Love to be a backup to Aaron Rodgers, like arguably a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. I don't really know how much sense that makes, but it is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I so Roger strikes me as a guy that is down to just kind of like call it quits and go host Jeopardy. Be cool, but I don't know if that would be my personal move. But who knows? I mean, it's the Packers are such a weird team because there's no true owners and the shares, and they're run by a board. But like, it is funny that Aaron Rodgers is calling their GM Jerry Reinsdorf from obviously the infamous Chicago Bulls team. All right, into the last thing, last segment for the show. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter today. I apologize for that, but kind of just no, it is what it is. Things kind of went wrong today. Just been busy, really busy with finals last 2 weeks. That's why my posts have been slower. But I have some good content that I'm really just like I'm making sure I put out. That's great. Like I'm continuing my MLB Road to the Show series on YouTube. Episode 1 is out right now. You can go check that out. But I have the footage for episode 2, but I just want to make sure that it's better than episode 1. Like I got to make sure I'm putting effort into it. I'm speaking clearly and doing shit like that. But I'm just kind of going to go into what I'm talking about. But it's just like I am so bad at video games. It is a really sad. It was a really big day for me to realize, and I kind of first had this realization when pretty early in my internship here. I did the NCAA football wish list with Jackson Law and Matt. And first of all, Jackson's just like a certified G. He pretty much runs our YouTube. He's awesome at it. Puts out great views. Puts out great videos. Gets great views. But I really realized when I was talking to them is like how not into video games I am compared to what like I would say real gamers are. And not that like depending what game you play makes you a real gamer, but like when Jackson does like his head coaching series, he does the scouting himself. He's recruiting, he's putting the time into it. And that's just like never something I was ever interested in doing or ever did. And the video game scene is just just madness. So I've been playing a lot of MLB The Show, and it came out 420 medicinal, and it is the hardest game I've ever played in my life. Yep, no doubt. I've hit one home run in almost 3 weeks of playing the game. One home run. I had to move the difficulty to beginner for hitting. I'm ashamed to admit that, but it's kind of just something I had to do. Um, I don't know if it's because I haven't played the show in such a long time that I just like kind of like lost touch, or maybe I'm just like washed. My thumbs don't work the way I thought they once did. Um, and then I really realized how bad I am at video games when I played Fortnite back in the day, back like right after like everyone knew what Fortnite was, and right around like I don't know if you guys remember like the Fortnite World Cup where that kid Booga won. First of all, shout out Booga. But that that game changed like I don't know, maybe it was just from me thing, but that game changed like competitive gaming forever. Like that free to play game there, everyone can qualify the World Cup. There was no private tournaments. You didn't invite. You just logged into your game, hit play, and you just went. And you could play against the best streamers in the world, and like literally like people out of nowhere just came on the scene and turned it, parlayed that into streaming, and made a shit ton of money. So I mean, it's hard for that game just changed video games forever. I've talked about it a few times, but I'm just really bad at video games, and it sucks. I'm really bad at Warzone. Speaking of Warzone, actually, they hyped up this new map. They were going to do all these changes, that. They did the nuke. They shut down their servers, that map, for 24 hours. They shut down Verdansk. And Kane wrote a good article about this. That was the most disgusting in-game event or map change, whatever the hell you want to call it, I've ever seen. Because they didn't change the map. They just added some grass. They made it green. They changed the colors. They changed the floor loop. But like other than that, it's the same gun, like the same game, the same buildings. Like they made the meta stupid. Luckily, they kind of fixed that a little bit already by nerfing the burst guns, but it's just I think we're spoiled by Fortnite, and I say we, I mean me and people that were first introduced to gaming hardcore and Twitch hardcore around, Fortnite because it, like I said, it changed the game. But Fortnite in-game events were awesome. Like Marvel, they did so many different collaborations, and that's obviously because they got so bigger. But their developers and their, game engineers, whatever the hell you want to call them, they cared about their in-game events, and they did the Travis Scott concert that they did in Fortnite. It got clowned on so much. It was fucking awesome. Just like having everyone being able to tune into one event to watch something. They played fucking movies in that game. You could go to, I think it was Risky Reels, and watch a movie. Like that is insane. So for then Warzone to be the next like huge BR that follows up, and for Activision and Raven Software and whoever the hell runs Infinity Ward, whoever the hell is running Warzone at the moment, to just do some like bullshit like that was just super disappointing. Um, it's pretty much it for me. I appreciate you guys sticking through the show. I think this is episode 28 maybe. So, you know, the twice a week stuff, it was fun. I learned a lot from it, but it's just not, I don't think sustainable enough for what I want this show to be and for what I want to give you guys. With work coming up and just things getting crazy and finals currently, finals all last week and all this week, things are just kind of getting a little bit nuttier. And I just want to make sure that I'm not doing too much and making it all shitty. I rather do stuff and make it good and make it quality content and make something great and not just like put it out just to put it out. Um, you know, I actually thought this conversation went pretty well. Obviously, I'm just talking to myself and a stupid Zoom recording of me, and you're just looking at my stupid face. But like I said, I appreciate you guys listening to Kriegs Korner. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Adam Krieger 1997. Follow the show on Twitter at Kriegs Korner. Um, just be on the lookout for some guests, and I'm gonna re-put some energy into the show, and I just want you guys to know that. So, like I said, thanks for listening to Kriegs Korner, guys. Make sure you like the video. Hopefully, you enjoy the rest of your day.